It is a pleasure to meet you back. This is 2020 Gyeonggi International Hydrogen Forum. My name is Gyeonggi. I'm an announcer at Gyeonggi Provincial Government. We'd now like to move on to our next talk concert, which is session 4 on hydrogen economy that communicates with the public. As I mentioned before, this is being simultaneously interpreted into English, so you can select the Korean or English channel on YouTube.
Korean and English simultaneous interpretation is available for today's forum. So please check the YouTube channel for your convenience. 이번 세션은 수소 경제에 대해
So in this session, we will be having a very interesting talk on hydrogen economy. This is going to be very fun and interesting. We will have Kim Han-yong, who have about 340,000 followers on YouTube, and Kim Han-yong, who is the editor of MOCAR. Hello, it is a pleasure to meet you. Hello. I'm Kim Han-yong. Hello, my name is Kim Ji-young of Doosan Mobility Innovation. Yes, it is a pleasure to meet you. I'm going to ask you some questions. So, when I think of you, I know that you work at Doosan Mobility Innovation, that you work with drones. Can you tell us a little bit about the kinds of drones that you work with? Right now, a lot of drones are being used in the industrial applications. So drones are basically computers that can fly. Recently, they typically use lithium-ion batteries. They only fly for under 30 minutes. Yes, I fly drones all the time, but I think when we fly drones, you have to always try to recharge them because the batteries are very small, which is why we use fuel cell batteries and generators that can emit electricity. So we make these little fuel cell battery packs, which we put in the drones, and the drones can now fly on average about 2 hours, which makes them ideal for industrial applications. Really, drones can fly for 2 hours. I see that means that there could be widespread use and adoption. Yes, in the industrial space for long pipelines, or when there are these deliveries that need to be made across different lines, or if it's very dangerous, or if there's a rescue operation to look for someone missing, and even if somebody is found, a missing person is found, maybe that person has to wait for the rescue operation team to get there, and that drone will provide them some level of reassurance and comfort. Sometimes in freeways or expressways, we see cameras flying around. You know, the drones are doing traffic surveillance to see if you're not breaking any laws. Can drones be also used in that regard? Yes, in the traffic peak areas in the morning 2 hours, and in the afternoon about 2 hours. That's when traffic congestion is the worst. The drones can fly for about 2 hours, so they can fly around at that time to see where the road congestion is worse and if there are any accidents. Yes, but if they can fly for about 2 hours, that's great. But after flying for 2 hours, it has to fly back to the refueling station, right? Yes, hydrogen cars right now, they have these batteries in them, so they have to go to a refueling station to be refueled. However, drones, they go to mountains, rivers, many different areas, so we cannot build refueling stations everywhere. So we just switch out the pack. That's great. So after flying for 2 hours, their packs are switched and they can fly again for another 2 hours. Yes, that's correct. Anyone can switch the pack. It's a one touch and it's very safe for use for anyone. It's very safe for use. Can this be sold in the market? Yes, it has started to be sold this year, and Korea is selling this. In fact, I think it's the only country that is selling this with this kind of technology. And early this year, we received the Best Innovation Award in the US. In all of the drones and robotics product categories, we were the most advanced in the world. I see. So when we think of drones, what I typically think about is that the drones that we've seen thus far are these small drones with small cameras, but hydrogen-powered drones, can maybe people get on them and fly around? Is that even possible? I think right now we are working with hydrogen-operated drones with thermal cameras, or maybe delivering small objects. UAMs are unmanned air taxis, I guess you can see. But it's different from cargo drones. So we're interested in cargo drones and UAMs. There's something called energy density. So depending on the weight, you see how much energy it can have. with batteries, it's about 150 to 250. But for hydrogen fuel cells, it's already nearly 400 capacity. So if you create UAM with batteries, that can you can fly for about 15 minutes to 30 minutes, whereas with hydrogen, you can do for about 1 hour. So I think it's closer to commercialization. I see. It feels like the future is right before us. That was very interesting to hear. I think a lot of talk has been mentioned about hydrogen refueling stations, that there's a lack of that infrastructure, and that it's very inconvenient to go around refueling the hydrogen cars. Can you tell us a little bit more about the refueling stations?
So currently we have FCEV produced by Hyundai Motors and Nexo, right? That is highly acclaimed around the world as a well-made FCEV. But hydrogen car or the FCEV needs to be refueled. As of last year, Korea has the largest number of FCEV distributed in the nation, and it seems that only half of the number of the cars distributed here in Korea are distributed in Germany. So this FCEV is a large business here in Korea, and I believe that other mobility modes than the FCEV can be refilled in hydrogen the refueling stations. There also is a big concern over the hydrogen refueling station here in Korea. For example, in winter time, the FCEV drivers expressed a lot of difficulties in refilling their FCEV because of the freezing of the nozzle or something like that. We all know that there is a dramatic development in terms of FCEV technology. So currently, a lot of parts and components have been improved, and also the refilling, the mode has been improved dramatically. So it takes only 5 minutes to refill the hydrogen. So it seems that there is a dramatic increase in terms of convenience of refilling of hydrogen in hydrogen refilling stations. So it means that there have been actually dramatic improvements in terms of hydrogen refilling station technology. So it means that the conventional concern over the inconvenience of hydrogen refilling station has been resolved. Is that what you said? That's right. But the thing is that there still is a shortage of the number of refilling stations. However, when it comes to the utilization of the refilling station, I believe that a lot of the difficulties have been resolved already. What are the key characteristics or the merits of FCEV produced here in Korea? I'm not working in the FCEV production area. Rather, I'm working in the hydrogen drone production area. So the hydrogen actually can be combined with the oxygen in the air, and electricity can be generated over the course. We all know that hydrogen is a clean energy source, and also the electric vehicle takes long to recharge because of the capacity of the battery. But we all know that FCEV can travel 600 kilometers, which is way longer than the EV or electric vehicles. So compared to the EV trucks or the buses, FCEV has bigger merits. Actually, what you said reminded me of the U.S. case, particularly the Amber hydrogen bus, which drew a great deal of attention from the general public in the U.S. Nikola case. So will it be commercialized sooner or later? I believe it's already commercialized. And also hydrogen, the battery pack is the business that I work on. We have a lot of suppliers and also upstream manufacturer partners that are working on the commercial production of FCEV and the hydrogen battery packs. I feel very proud of being Korea because the pioneer like you actually excavated and explored a new path for the development of hydrogen technology. This will be my last question. So we are talking about hydrogen economy and its development. What are the improvement points that you can think of from the perspective of the central government of Korea in the Gyeonggi province? We are talking about the growth of hydrogen industry. And it seems that the European countries like Germany or the country like the US lead this hydrogen industry or economy. But Korea is also one of the leading countries in terms of hydrogen economy and hydrogen technology. Other than this FCEV, Korea is ahead in many hydrogen technology areas, including green hydrogen technology. The advanced countries make huge investment in this green hydrogen technology. The green hydrogen production to 20 to 40 megawatt is the target pursued by the European countries. We all know that green energy, green hydrogen production doesn't generate any greenhouse gases or the CO2s. So, and also the supply of hydrogen is very critical. So the European countries have ambitious plan to create or install 1,600 to 6,000 pipelines for hydrogen delivery.
I think that all hydrogen is not the same, that depending on where it's from, it could be a little bit of gray hydrogen or maybe some hydrogen that needs to go a little bit more to become really environmentally friendly. So I think that institutionally speaking that we need to do a little bit more to support that kind of a hydrogen development. That's true. Because of COVID-19, some of the projects, about 90% of that industry has been wiped out. So this has brought about a big impact. If there's environmental pollution, if there's very big environmental problems, that is going to come as a very drastic impact to humanity. So I think that this hydrogen industry is really being promoted globally. And in that regard, the ways of using hydrogen and how we make and move hydrogen are also those areas where we have to see consistent research. Yes, thank you very much for your contribution. But lastly, maybe you can talk about a few last concluding comments. I think that there are many people who are worried about hydrogen because it's compressed, and some people have this wrong misconception of hydrogen. I know you might have heard of this, but people are worried about hydrogen bomb explosions. That's completely different from what we know. So can you tell us a little bit about that? So when we talk about H-bombs, that's a kind of hydrogen that does not exist in its natural state. So that's different from the hydrogen that we talk about. Hydrogen it exists right now in the air that we breathe. So it's just a very natural, eco-friendly energy source. And the hydrogen industry is also very developed. So in terms of storing this storage facilities of hydrogen, they've been put through a lot of different tests, and they're very severe on protocols and certification. So if we can use those, there's no issue in safety. So we should know that. And hydrogen is very flammable, which is why when hydrogen bursts, it will just fly away in the air. So other than gasoline or batteries, there's not going to be any issue where they will catch fire because of water. So in the different facilities that we use, we would compress the hydrogen and put that, and we try to light it on fire to see whether it's safe or not. So you put it in fire. Yes, we try to make sure whether it's safe or not to see whether the hydrogen is going to fly away. And this sniper, we even have a sniper to shoot it to see whether it explodes or not. So we have gone through that safety test, which means that it is very safe. So you really shoot at this. That's great. Yes, if you look at our YouTube channel, then you would see all these different tests. So you'll be able to see that, I think. Yes, I'm going to follow and subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution today.
네, 이렇게 두 분 인터뷰 함께하고 나니 수소의
After hearing the interview between the two, actually the hydrogen technology feels way closer to me. Now let us get started with the talk concert on the future energy paradigm from a carbon economy to hydrogen economy. I would like to invite the panelists for this talk concert. We have Cheol-Gu, Senior Researcher of the Gyeonggi Research Institute. We have Kim Ji-young, Team Leader of Doosan Mobility Innovation Inc. as a panelist. We have Kim Han-yong, Editor-in-Chief of Kim Han-yong's MOCAR. we have Eung-jae, head of FCEV community. Last but not least, we have Ms. Kim Min-ju, Kim Ji-won, Shin Ye-ju, and An Se-eun as a representative students of hydrogen economy supporters. This talk concert is joined by an online audience in real time, and I'd like to invite Kang Cheol-Gu, a senior researcher of Gyeonggi Research Institute, who will chair this talk concert session. Please proceed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today's talk concert theme is hydrogen and hydrogen energy. It seems that the economic leaders and the social leaders, as well as general public, have increasing interest in this hydrogen as a new energy source, as a solution to tackle the climate change and climate crisis issue, including the microfinance issue, which is serious here in Korea. So in order to tackle all these serious issues, we just paid attention, we started paying attention to alternative energy sources like the wind power generation and the PV power generation. And hydrogen economy have emerged as a kind of the potential the future technology. And President Moon also put a lot of emphasis on the development of hydrogen economy and hydrogen industry over and over in his speech toward the general public. Gyeonggi province takes leadership in the implementation and the development of hydrogen economy. Gyeonggi province is home to 1/3 of the entire population of Korea, and also it has a large industrial base within the region. So Gyeonggi province plays the most critical and significant role in pursuing this hydrogen economy. And it will be, I believe that the Gyeonggi province will be the benchmark in terms of hydrogen economy implementation. In this context, this talk concert will be a precious opportunity for us to think about the economic direction for the implementation of hydrogen economy. It's quite meaningful occasion. We are joined by online audience through YouTube channel. And we are also joined by experts and students who are participating in today's talk concert as hydrogen economy supporters. First of all, I'd like to talk to Kim Han-yong, editor-in-chief of Kim Han-yong's MOCAR. He's running a platform channel called MOCAR, which deals with automotive industry and automotive technology. It has, actually the channel has 450,000 subscribers. It's a very famous channel in YouTube. So hydrogen economy and hydrogen, the energy paradigm shift will be a kind of topics that Mr. Kim Han-yong can answer properly. Thank you very much for introducing my YouTube channel. It helped me a lot.
I think on YouTube you can see a lot of information, but there are also some things that you can only see if you come to forums like this. I know that we are here for a future energy paradigm. We're moving from a carbon economy to a hydrogen economy, but can you specifically tell us how this is going to change? Oh, I think another strength of a hydrogen economy is to see why it's important to go on this paradigm shift. When we use carbon as an energy source, water, oxygen, electricity, without these things we cannot live for one day. So in the past and now, oil and fuel, like oil and coal, whenever you use it, it leads to a lot of pollution. So with the hydrogen economy, the strengths of that is that even if you use a lot of it, there is no pollution. So when you use a hydrogen, the only byproduct is water. because there is no other pollutant, which is why we have to have a paradigm shift from carbon economy to hydrogen economy.
저는 이제 말씀드릴 수 있겠습니다. 쉽게 말해서 탄소 경제는
Which is why I think that carbon economy to hydrogen economy, we're going to go to an eco-friendly, decarbon society. So I was able to see that there are supporters, hydrogen economy supporters who are joining us today. I was wondering what work they do. MOTI has launched H2 Korea, sort of a task force team, I guess, and it's they have a sort of a cheerleading squad about hydrogen, and it was launched in July. There are about 100 or 200 or so, and they provide PR online, talking about how hydrogen is very safe. They talk about hydrogen cars, and these are mostly college students that they have been mobilized, and they're called supporters. So they are providing that sort of work, and I know that there are about 4 of these people who are going to be coming today, and they're with us, panelists. Hello. I'm Kim Min-ju. I'm a hydrogen economy supporter. I do have a question to Kang Cheol-Gu. Hydrogen is being really widely popularized at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit more about why hydrogen is so highlighted both at home and abroad? Well, it is being highlighted because if we look at cars, for example, hydrogen cars are being very much spotlighted. They're being spotlighted because EVs and HCEVs can be compared against IC cars, such as IC cars and other diesel combustion cars. They are not being very much highlighted because of their impact to the environment. That when in terms of transport and moving around people, mobility, one is going to be disappeared and the other is not. With EVs and HCEVs that are powered on with the transports and mobility, with economic activity. With hydrogen, there's really no emissions. So hydrogen cars are basically seen as no emissions car. And so that is why hydrogen can be a very good energy source to make that happen. And hydrogen cars can allow for that to be done, which is why hydrogen energy, how it's going to be used and how it's going to be highlighted, is something that we have yet to see.
일부 자단
Hydrogen fuel-based drone development is one of the business areas of Doosan Innovation. And actually, Doosan Innovation Director participated in the previous session as a panelist. So I believe that there are some of you who are interested in this hydrogen fuel-based drone technology. So if you have any questions about that, please ask them. I am Kim Ji-won, hydrogen economy supporter. My question is directed to Mr. Kim Ji-young. So hydrogen fuel-based drone is a kind of practical the hydrogen technology being utilized and commercialized in reality. And also, are there any specific business plan that the Doosan Innovation has with regard to the hydrogen industry? I believe the hydrogen industry can be divided into 3 categories. The first one is hydrogen production and the delivery. And secondly, the produced hydrogen need to be utilized for the electricity generation. When it comes to this power generation, Doosan is a leading company, and Korea is also a leading country in terms of this power generation using this hydrogen fuel. PEM-FC and PFC are the 2 areas where Korea and the Doosan lead. And the third area is mobility area, the hydrogen-based vehicle or gas trucks or the motorcycles using hydrogen as fuel, or belong to this category. And UAM, unmanned aerial mobility, or the air taxi or cargo drones, or manned aerial objects are another ways that the hydrogen can be utilized as a new source of fuel. And those are kind of future promising areas in terms of hydrogen industry. And the Doosan Innovation has planned to make a continuous investment in that area as well. Thank you very much for your answer. I also would like to ask a question to Mr. Kim Ji-young. I belong to a department on the video creation. So I just wondered that the hydrogen-based the drone is utilized and whether it can be commercialized. The hydrogen battery pack just can fly like 10 to 20 minutes. That was conventional, the hydrogen battery-based drones. However, the Doosan Innovation developed a hydrogen-based drone can fly a number of hours, and it can be utilized for monitoring of coastal areas or the wildfires. So it has a wide variety of uses. So the localized Korean technology is utilized for this hydrogen-based drone technology, and it's already commercialized and being sold in the market. And the USCS 2020 actually awarded Doosan Innovation as a best innovator in this hydrogen drone area. I have a question about the hydrogen economy. If we implement this hydrogen economy, what kind of change we will experience or we will have? Let me use a picture to help the audience understand better about this hydrogen economy. This is a kind of change that will be brought about by the implementation of hydrogen economy. This is the current status. The left side is our current status or the status quo, and our to-be image or our future status is on our right side. So it can take 5 years or 10 years to reach the to-be status. I believe that if it goes like this, it will take like 50 years to make a complete paradigm shift. So the genuine the hydrogen economy will be realized like 2070.
So for example, if we try to have a hydrogen economy, then let's say there are power plants that are fossil fuel, fire-powered or thermal-powered. And when you burn that, then you would be left with methane, different gas, which is why we can have a fuel cell power plants. We had a representative from Doosan. They are developing a fuel cell power plant. This concept of a power plant is going to change. I don't know if it's going to take 5 years or 10 years, but this is how the future is going to change. And it's the same with cars. On the left, you see these diesel cars. I know that there are many people here who drive old cars, but you see cars like Nexo. They are shifting over to hydrogen cars. Even with refueling stations, right now there are these LPG or gas stations, and now about 20, 30 years in the future, we're going to see a lot more hydrogen refueling stations. And that's going to be the future because that's really going to be best for the bottom line because of the regulations and the market price mechanism. People are not going to buy IC cars anymore. Even with residential boilers, they're gas-powered. But on the right-hand side, you would see these fuel cell boilers, fuel cell heaters. They're going to be deployed in each and every residence. It might take 15, 20 years. But that's going to be the change in the future. And most importantly, the air quality of Doosan. Can you take a look at the air quality right now on the left-hand side? This is when microfine dust was at its worst. But if we continue to use clean energy like hydrogen, then you would see what you see on the right-hand side. This is a very clear view of Doosan. Maybe this is going to take 10 years or so. because right now we are getting into that territory. But most importantly, this hydrogen economy, within the existing paradigm, we'll see the economy will continue to go, but you would see the view of Gwanghwamun over there, the statue of Admiral Lee Shin would see that there's very much haze. But in the future, you would still see economic growth, but the air quality, the environment, and the skies are still very clear. That's what we're going to see in the future with the hydrogen economy. So those are the changes that we're going to see, and that is what I would like to tell you. Gyeonggi-do and local governments, I think we should all work together so that the public and people can usher in an era of hydrogen economy, that we can all work together in that regard in terms of the policies and the institutions. I hope that this would be a very good opportunity for all of us. And with that, we would like to conclude this panel discussion. Thank you very much.
네, 2부 토론 잘 들었습니다.
This concludes the panel discussion of the session number 4. And before we wrap up the session, we'd like to invite the student supporters for the hydrogen economy for their comments.
Well, we are a team of students who have majored in video and media content because we want to try to make content that is really relevant to the people. So we've made webtoons, or we've made parody videos of advertisements to try to tell more people about the hydrogen economy. Through this content, I hope that many people's idea of hydrogen has changed. Hello, I'm a hydrogen economy supporter. My name is Kim Ji-won. We have placed a label on a cup holder saying that hydrogen economy is our tomorrow. And when we handed this out to many people, people asked us, what exactly is a hydrogen economy? I believe that promoting hydrogen economy is really what we need to do in the future. Thank you. Hello, I'm a hydrogen economy supporter. My name is Se-eun AN. Before I started working as a hydrogen economy supporter, I thought that hydrogen is very dangerous because I thought that it could explode. But while working as a supporter, I was able to learn that that is not the case, that I had a very good opportunity telling more people about the benefits of hydrogen. Hello, I'm a hydrogen economy supporter. My name is Kim Min-ju. Before I began this work, I really did not know anything about hydrogen. But after I started working as a supporter, I did some studying of hydrogen, and this allowed me to know a little bit more about hydrogen. If you can do a little bit more research on hydrogen, that would also be a way for you to learn more about us and transitioning to hydrogen economy.
다음으로 수소 전기차 넥소 커뮤니티.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to ask Nexo for his few words.
넥소 카페 운영자.
I am Eung-jae. The FCEV car is the one that I'm using. I purchased it back in 2018, and the mileage, current mileage is around 100,000 the kilometers right now for my car, and I'm quite satisfied with the performance of the FCEV. However, there still is a shortage of infrastructure for FCEV, including the refueling station. But after hearing the comments made by the hydrogen economy supporters, I would like to extend my appreciation to all the supporters, and I hope that this, in the near future, we will have better infrastructure for the operation of FCEV. This concludes the talk concert session, and it was a precious opportunity for us to learn more about the hydrogen economy, including FCEV. I'd like to extend my appreciation to all the participants of session number 4.
With special session. Thank you.